And that's why so many things have gone to the web. So you put something online, you create it once, it's there, it requires a minimal amount of time and effort to run it, and so you get maximum return of your investment. It generates lots of revenue. Plus, it's accessible by anyone around the world. So, I can understand why organizations have made that move, but it certainly is disappointing. I mean, I specifically remember hosting workshops and practical assessments for the American College of Sports Medicine in their health fitness instructor certification. And this is a very basic entry level certification. It's widely recognized. But I remember running those practicals and having individuals who, they did fine on the written portion, but they couldn't demonstrate the simplest exercise. You would some of the tasks would be, demonstrate a strengthening exercise for the bicep muscle, and they couldn't even show you a basic bicep curl correctly. They couldn't demonstrate an appropriate stretch for the hamstring muscle. I mean, there were just some basics that they could not do, and I always walked away from there just appalled that these individuals were trying to get the certification and couldn't perform these basic skills. Now we take the skills assessment completely out of the picture, and you see where that kind of leaves us as an industry. We really shot ourselves in the foot. We can't say we want better standards. We are demanding increases in pay and etc. when we're not requiring any skills to be really demonstrated for anyone coming into the industry as a professional. So I think we've really weakened our position quite a bit, especially with the public. So I think when we look at kind of competitive advantage, I'm really interested in holding people to a standard of a practical skills assessment. I know many other professionals in the active aging industry, especially colleagues that I deal with that might be academic, but they're also very applied, very involved with organizations and training programs and that sort of thing. And I think across the board, everybody says, look, we really need to hold people accountable for skills, but nobody's doing it. So I definitely think that although logistically it becomes more difficult, it is a competitive advantage. So, I kind of just, I think, demonstrates that there's a need for this certification and for more certifications that are really holding people accountable to a higher standard. I also think that by doing so, that there are individuals out there in the profession that want a higher standard. They want something more rigorous, and I think they will respond quite a bit. You always get individuals who they want the cheapest, easiest thing to do, and just get that document, that piece of paper with their name on it and the credentials. But there's a lot of people that are willing to work hard. They're willing to be diligent about developing their skills because they want to do a good job. So those are the people that really we want to attract. So let's talk about the active aging specialist certification a little bit, the green level that I'm currently developing. There were some guidelines that were developed a number of years ago. They're called the International Curricular Guidelines for Physical Activity Instructors of Older Adults. And that's kind of a big long title, but what basically happened was there were a couple professors from University of California, Fullerton. Dr. Jesse Jones kind of spearheaded that effort, and they wanted to create some standards for certification agencies, for academic degree programs, as far as what do individuals need to know in order to work with older adults. And so they developed these standards. They were adopted by the World Health Organization. Unfortunately, people haven't really stuck to those standards very well. And so I am definitely planning on following those standards and meeting those standards within this certification, because a group of experts that I really believe in and that I work with put this together. I endorsed it. I was a reviewer for those standards. And so I think it's a good way to try to get some consistency from country to country certification.